Nec Ultima Verba.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Any Last Words podcast. And I'm all that there is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally happened. It took 41 episodes, but finally, everyone's schedules were so fucked up that I'm the only one who could turn up. It's crazy, I know. And yourself, of course, since you're listening to this. Currently, it is a very important day for me. It is religious, almost. It is, in fact, National Throw Short People Day. And the premises of this, it's a religious holiday. I have rights, you know. Christians have Christmas and Easter, that whole season, like Good Friday, Easter Monday, Easter Friday, Good Friday, technically. So I get to have National Throw Short People Day. And you can throw anyone under 5'4" with no permission required. You know what, in fact, I think that's why none of my my colleagues have come to work. It's because I'm gonna key you in on a little secret. But they're all really short. And they're just afraid that I'm gonna end up throwing them. All of them, Brandon included. But anyways, I digress. Today's a solo episode, we're just gonna jump right into it. I figured we could go on a little trip through time and just listen to episode 1 together as friends, you know? This would be like a director's cut, you know, the commentary track. Except it's just me and you and just me and past me and past to them. So let's just jump right into it, you know?
3, 2, 1.
There's
Jesus
the countdown.
Christ on a stick.
Yes.
Welcome
Christ on a bike.
to the Last Words Any podcast.
That was an intentional
Rated
mispronunciation,
5
by the
stars
way.
on what I'm sure is
Absolutely,
a very
I didn't
reputable
fuck it
site
up and then
out there
just
on the
continue
internet.
doing it for 5
Could be,
episodes.
Somewhere.
I don't know, the
Tumblr.
iTunes store. Tumblr.
Tumblr.com.
We do
Yeah,
have a
we do
Tumblr.
We
still have a
do, I
Tumblr.
set it
It is
up.
in fact still running.
Do we have a
we-
Tumblr?
We don't do anything on it,
it's
but it's
logged in on
there.
my laptop, so.
Ah.
Because, you
These
know
are the
what?
good old
You gotta
days
have a
where
Tumblr.
You do have to
Jaden
have a
was
Tumblr,
present
you
with
know,
us.
keep up with the quirky
We had
individuals
Jay,
of society.
always
The
fun.
interesting folk.
Jay still comes
To be
around,
honest,
but
I
you
don't
know,
know what Tumblr
not
is,
official.
It's okay, Dad.
I think it's better that you
Me
don't.
and Jaden call each other Dad.
Oh my god.
I
This is
mean,
At the
getting-
time, we also called Brandon Dad,
Sorry.
but I think that's fallen off. I think we all call Jaden Dad, and Jaden calls me Dad, but I don't call Brandon Dad
See,
as
I
often.
just thought about quitting today.
Smoking?
No.
This is the first of a long legacy. Because
Yeah.
obviously we all know this is just a bit. Brandon's
You are
never
legally
actually
bound to
late.
be here
yeah,
by
we also.
But,
invitation, yeah.
Either way,
Ooh,
I
the
made
old
the
bleeps.
personal
That's
decision
jarring.
not
It
to
didn't take long.
quit. So I came in late. Just
But yeah, he was never actually
Okay.
late, and this bit was really hard for him to do because he had to improvise most of these.
Anyways.
Jeez.
Okay,
Welcome
cool
to the
story,
Last
bro.
Words Any podcast once again.
There we go. I've fallen into it. I've
Hello,
started butchering
everyone.
the name on
Yeah.
Oh
purpose.
yeah, we gotta introduce ourselves.
We do.
Yes.
Ooh, first
Myself,
introduction.
As you know, probably, maybe, I'm Calan. Maybe. You never know, I could
Most
be an android
probably.
from the future. Most probably.
Was considering
Probably.
using my
But you guys
online
would never
moniker,
know.
but I just figured no moniker,
This
not
could be like some
nomiker.
Dragon Ball Trunks shit. I'm me from the
But
future,
yeah.
but not really from an alternate reality.
No, my
You
real
never
name
know.
felt appropriate
You
at
never
this
know.
point.
The sexy man next to me.
Jaden. Hello. I'm back.
Look at that transition. We don't do that sort of
Owning it.
shit anymore. We take like
Excuse me?
2 seconds
Who are
to
you again?
reply.
Why do we like
Jaden
this
was
guy?
on point. I missed Jaden, even though his mic was a
And I'm
headset.
Okay.
Jay. Nice to meet you guys. Welcome back to another episode.
This was
Our
the
second
dawn of
official
Jay
episode.
bullying Brandon.
Woo! We have
Woo.
improved our setup slightly, so
little
hopefully
bit.
you guys can detect how much more the levels of quality are astronomical.
Now the syncing
Yes.
isn't shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Brandon has a soundboard.
I tried
That's
my
how
hardest,
official
guys.
it
Okay,
is,
I had
right?
to stitch
Thank
them
you.
up
Very
manually. We
Mhm.
had different input sources. It wasn't very fun back then.
Oh.
You shouldn't have told people
We
that.
didn't have a
they
recording
think we're
set up
poor
technically.
again.
We just had
We
a
have a live
couple of
studio
$30
audience.
What is
What are you
wrong
mics.
with you? I was just setting up
Exactly.
how rich we were.
I know.
No,
What's
we
gonna
were
hold
incredibly
20
rich.
fucking
Yeah.
bucks on a USB port Alright, just to have multiple devices recording at once on one device, and then you go ahead and spoil them with that shit.
Well, look, it's not a music playlist. I take that. I was making it up. I wanted
You
to
can't
say-
take it back now.
I wanted
We
to-
never
I
bothered
wanna
really
see him
keeping
try.
this for
I
that
want
long.
to
Yes.
Like the whole
That's why I
soundboard,
said
the
it,
sound
yeah.
effects. Brendan tried, but we
Yeah,
didn't get him a
that's
soundboard,
the
like an
thing,
actual proper
Is what
one.
you're saying. That's my
We don't
thing.
have to try.
Typical attention-seeking Brandon.
I
That's
know.
my thing, Brandon. You can't take my fucking joke.
That's why I took it, because I wanted attention. Look at it. Look at this. Attention.
Damn, he's actually succeeding.
He's not
Actually,
wrong,
he's
actually. He's
succeeding.
gotten a lot of
Let's
attention.
not let this continue.
I remember,
Okay,
if
let's-
you
let's
were paying
move
attention,
on.
the first 20 seconds are
Yep,
called
okay,
Brandon
so
a
that's all you've heard
cunt.
of Brandon.
His dad
Yeah.
was
Not gonna
very
speak for the
shocked
rest of
Yeah,
about
that'll
that.
be Brandon for
If
the
you're
rest of
listening,
the day.
Mr. Tenori, sir,
Yeah.
I'm
so
sorry. It was
it's
all in
been a minute.
joviality.
Last time we recorded was about a fortnight ago.
It was.
It was actually still
It
2020.
was
We recorded
2020.
before Christmas.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
Wow, we
Yeah, holy
recorded
shit,
before
almost like 3
Christmas?
weeks ago, yeah.
Fucking
Happy
weirdo.
2021. Let's hope it's better.
Yeah, how was everyone's Christmases?
It has been very busy for some reason. But
Yeah, as you
Isn't
Been
that
well.
nice?
well,
I got a spatula for Christmas that year. It was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
I've got it right over there.
Well, you don't want
I haven't
people
used
over
it for
there,
anything
do you?
because
You
it's
don't want
metal
that one
and
uncle
metal
that
spatulas on like non-stick
There's
frying
that one
pans.
uncle who always
Blech.
has really interesting political ideas and
That's
wants to
kind of
make
my
sure
whole
that
family.
everyone knows about him.
We've all got that uncle.
So yeah, we got away with that.
Yes.
Mhm.
New Year's,
Same
anything
thing.
interesting? Yeah,
Exactly
same
the
thing.
same thing.
Yeah.
Most of this
I
echo is coming
actually
from
did
Jaden,
something.
if there's any discernible echo.
Which is unusual.
Which
Yeah,
is a
it's
pity,
very
but oh well.
Socialized.
With multiple people.
With more than 2
Yeah.
people.
Fucking
I mean, it
weirdo.
helps that it was someone's birthday on
It
New
was
Year's,
also
and you were
someone's
all, we
birthday,
were all
yeah.
forced out to go to see that, except for
And
Brandon and Jaden, who
I
were
didn't know it was a thing. I emailed
This
him.
is true. I feel horrible because I feel I
mean, we made
felt
This
like I
guy,
should have
I love
reminded
him.
them a bit more
Theo.
often. I know they
Shout
never
out
check.
Theo.
Shout out to
Shout out
every
They never
Theo
check
out
their
there.
Every
DMs, their
single
messages.
Exactly.
I
Except
thought.
for you, Theo, you know who you are. Just
Oh,
a generic
yes.
Theo. I don't know who you are or what your actual name is. But not
Well,
Theo.
his name's Theo,
Yes, I'm sorry, Theo.
so technically he
I
does know
thought you
who
were
his
gonna
name
follow up
is.
on me, but like, that didn't
Wow,
happen.
he was just
so...
depending on the other person.
I'm even worse.
I
I had an invite, and then I had stuff planned for New Year's, and then that got cancelled, and then I forgot.
Yeah, as you
I see
said.
how
You
it
guys
is,
are so
Brandon.
trash at this.
I know.
I swear.
I know. That's why I've got a calendar.
I asked.
Theo's birthday was fucking lit,
I
by
also
the way.
had plans which got cancelled, but I was like, is it at night time? Because if not, maybe I could come.
Potential?
And then I think he ghosted me, but
That's what you get.
I
What?
like him.
How do you have
Very
other
nice.
plans?
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I should be saying.
I should be commenting more, but I just kind of like fall into the sink of it, you know.
Exactly.
Just
At the
like
end of
I'm
the
start
year.
listening to
Yeah,
us
this
as
is
well.
true.
We've got 12 months. It's alright.
Exactly.
This
You
is
can
what you
pick up your
paid
game.
for, obviously.
Yeah.
The director's
You've got
cut.
another
You're
chance.
We
paying
do.
This is
We
round
do.
to
two.
listen to me
Exactly.
listen to episode
Yeah.
0.
Make sure COVID
Yeah.
doesn't interrupt again.
There's no
Oh.
particular
Well, we
reason why I
have
started with
things
episode
that
0. Like I
We
really
wanted to say,
shouldn't
like,
have.
COVID, be gone.
Be gone, thoughts!
It was supposed to expire.
Because I think it
like,
might have messed with the
January
numbering,
1st,
but on the
but I don't know
same
Yeah, I know.
on the same
For
foot,
some
you
reason
know.
it continued. Oh well.
It's the pilot episode. We all love pilot episodes.
Basically, Theo, happy birthday for like a week ago now. 2 weeks
Well,
almost.
pretty much.
Happy
It's been
18th,
almost 7
Yes.
minutes.
Yes.
Wow, our
It's become a
pacing was a
Theo
little
episode.
interesting.
We
Yeah.
all love you.
We love you, Theo. We love
Even
you.
if you
Now
will
that'd be
take
like
your
a
shot.
fifth of what we were aiming
Can you
for.
like a coffee shop or something? Like
Yeah,
an
he had
espresso
a like
martini?
an espresso martini,
Yeah.
and he sipped that very slowly.
He
and
did
we
have
all
an
got
espresso
shots, and he
martini.
nearly fucking died.
Theo, you're a pussy, right? If you can't take your
hilarious.
alcohol at that age, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
despite your
Oh,
Asian
wow.
heritage, I should give you that. You've got your
Yeah,
genetics fighting
yeah.
against
Yeah.
you.
It's confused in my brain.
You're alright.
Yeah, as you do. And yeah, then after that, then 2021 started, and it decided
It
just to
did.
really show face and just like prove to us that it could stand up to our expectations, which were built up by the previous year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get worse.
Man, it could get better.
It could get better.
It won't.
That's what we're hoping.
Mega hope.
These hopeful fucks.
COVID 2.
Yeah, they're not even
Yeah.
wrong. We did get a new
19.5.
mutation.
Whoa. It
We've got a
gets
couple,
beta
actually. Let's be honest.
Hey,
Oh,
all
no.
in all though, it is 2021.
We should have seen it coming, let's be honest. My grandmother's been saying it since the beginning of this pandemic. That it's going to last for at least 3 years. Because it's going to come in waves, there's going to be new mutations, and it'll eventually peter out after the 3rd year. And we're about 2 years in,
We already
so...
had that, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did actually. Yeah.
Actually,
Random chimp event. Classic.
Okay, well I forgot.
That did
one's already
happen.
ticked
There was
off on the
a...
Apocalypse Bingo
maybe
card.
There was a
it will happen
monkey
again.
It
swarm.
might happen
Random
again.
ship event 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. 2021.
There's probably been a
Random ship
second
event,
one.
calling it
You know
now.
what? Apparently, in New York, Times Square or some
Yeah.
shit, they just erected a really massive statue of Harambe. That's a pretty random chimp event.
I mean, aside from random chimp event, 2021, it has potential, but I wouldn't like to say that I have my expectations.
You can
It's gonna be
hear the
another
lack of
year, which
beard
just so
that's in my
happens to be a
voice right now.
continuation of 2020.
Like, my beard was only
You
just
know-
So
starting
no
to
specific
come
a
in.
like
redemption
personal
arc.
goals or
Exactly.
anything.
It's much more higher. I know, I was
Goals,
getting along with
get
it,
into
but
uni,
yeah, no.
don't be a complete screw up. Just
I tend to get a
exactly,
bit
this
higher, and it
podcast,
irritates me. I don't
continue
like it
this
that it
shit
gets
fest,
higher when
and
I'm
also
around
go to
people.
my uni portfolio,
Because,
as
you
long as
know, I
do
could
something
achieve a
related to the news
normal
for
speaking
little
voice
bit.
about
Yeah.
this,
If you guys
and
don't
I
want to see
like
us becoming
this.
solely political,
If we become very
keep
political,
watching because
yeah.
you'll
Yes.
support us and Calan.
We never really got that deep into
Exactly,
politics.
yeah.
I could.
Journalism,
You know,
combined
Reggie
journalism,
has in
that's
fact
what it
asked me
lasts.
to talk about politics at some point
because, you know,
with
I
her.
like,
Maybe we'll make that a podcast
exposing
episode.
People who are corrupt, you know, that's like my comfort thing. Most people absolutely fucking hate politics talks, and they don't want to talk about it, and it gets them all angry and riled up. But that's comfort for me.
Unironically, it is.
Makes my day.
I know. I love
still
talking
is.
about the corruption in society,
Yes.
and then the lack of corruption in certain other people in society. Jody McKay, best opposition premier.
Jody
let's
McKay
go,
was
Jody.
indeed the best opposition leader
You get that
in New South
girl
Wales. It
who's-
is an absolute pity
Yeah,
that
I'm
she's
sorry, I'm not
gone.
well
The
versed.
13th Doctor.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
Fucking
Jay and I
nerds.
That
can't
almost
relate.
sounded like the Simpsons theme to me.
Doctor
I know it was Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Television.
She's the
series.
opposition
Yeah.
leader for the New South Wales government, which is
She was.
yeah, it's she's essentially the person whose job it is to keep Gladys Berejiklian in check. But honestly, she should be in charge.
I'm
She's the
brilliant at
person who knows
spoonerisms.
relevant
Bladis.
memes and also likes koalas. Yeah.
Is that the Corey one?
What?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
So are you like up to date on all of like the politics, just like federal, state? Are you
Back
up to date
then,
on all
I'd
of
like
that?
to think that I was.
With it a fair bit. I mean, not as much as I could be, obviously. Like, once I actually get into the journalism sphere, then
Mhm.
Okay, so at least I was
Most
slightly
of us have to
humble,
read,
but yeah, no, I really
find
did
articles
not.
and shit
Read.
from,
Like, there's
Yeah,
obviously
read
so
that.
much more that you could get
Because to
into.
be honest, I've never really
It's, like,
cared
on the surface.
like too much. Because
Yeah,
like
I initially had that mindset.
Mhm.
I just wanted to ignore like politics.
Yeah.
Like, initially, like everyone thinks, oh, it's icky and they're all retarded, and the less we know about them, the better.
As weird as
Like-
it
Then,
sounds,
you
ooh, I
realise,
just
hey,
did
they
the.
kind of control everything.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
yes,
it's
as weird as
best
it
if I
sounds,
know what
politics
they're
really
up
was a
to
bit of a
and
turning
who I can
point
vote
for me.
next time.
because it wasn't
started
more
to have
so
some
that it's like
drive,
icky. It was more
Some
so
interest
just
in
like
something.
because you
which
know
is a
my parents and all
first.
that, they come from Philippines. Like
Mm.
they're like politics. It's like, you know, there's corruption and all that stuff.
They take it to the next.
Yeah, but in Australia, I was kind of like, whatever happens, like they're not gonna be that
Yeah,
bad,
like it
right?
could be that
Like,
bad, you'd think.
yeah, like it only affects like a little portion. Like I could be wrong. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like does
He
it really
is,
matter?
but-
I mean,
like
that's how you see it. That's
At the
I mean,
same
that's how
time,
it
it's not
does,
as bad
objectively
as it
feel
could
a
be.
lot of the time,
Mhm.
like,
And that's
Because
because
we
of
live
like
in
the
Australia, we're
legacy of
very lucky
Australia
on that
as a
basis
whole.
where,
Like it's
life
it's
isn't
livable.
entirely shit.
mm,
But,
mm.
like when you look into a lot of
Especially
aspects
because of
about
a lot
it,
of,
it
like,
can very
old
easily
labour
be
initiatives
better
like
based on our
Medicare.
political choices.
Very
It's
true.
probably one of the
very
most
true.
have a lot of,
amazing
like, really
things
prominent
that
corruption
has
and
happened to
so forth.
Australian society as a
Like under
whole.
the Morrison government. We
Gun
spent
control.
$1 billion purely on advertising. That's like an outrageous amount of money spent
Wow.
purely for advertising. And they get it because, like, ScoMo used to be, you know, like, into advertising. That was
He
his-
was.
He was like
tourism
chief of
something?
tourism and
Yeah.
shit.
How do
And-
these? It's
Wow.
these
He
people
was
that come
head of
from
tourism in New Zealand, and then they
backgrounds
kicked him
of
out.
money
didn't they?
Unqualified
orientation
and money,
and
yeah.
unqualified, and then they come into roles of like,
And
know, meaningful
necessarily
power.
and shit.
and then obviously
He's
they're
woefully
gonna.
underqualified. I'm just saying it now. He is not exactly. He's not qualified.
I was a
for
bit pushy there.
managerial,
He's a cunt, man.
positions.
Oops.
he was previously
I think I was
under
getting
the New
riled
Zealand
up at the
government
time.
for their tourism sector, but they literally paid him hush money and fired him because he did something so illegal.
I think it was
that
about
they didn't
$3
want him
million
released.
in hush money.
Oh.
And they told him to fuck off and go to Australia to work for them instead. Like
And then
they
he
didn't
became the
want
Prime
him
Minister.
as head of tourism. And we have this man as the Prime Minister of Australia.
No wonder why he fucked off to Hawaii
He took
during a
another
massive
break
bushfire.
this year as well.
Yeah, he was like
Like he took
January,
another
this is
week-long
my
break
time.
at the exact
He
same
took
time
another
he did last year in
break.
another crisis. He's taking more breaks more regularly than any other Australian Prime Minister in history.
This is
during the
true.
middle of crisis situations, you know.
It's surprising to see people still support this.
This is also
Man.
true.
Yeah, and that's a lot. That's a lot of it. Like people don't know. They don't get into.
Yeah, I think sometimes
awareness.
people may find the resources to learn about politics really
Yeah.
confusing.
A lot of it's very skewed. And,
Yeah, especially that Murdoch guy.
Rupert Murdoch, who
Rupert-
owns over 70% of all Australian media.
Yeah, sometimes I look
Exactly.
at the news and I'm like, do I really trust you?
Yeah,
I'm like,
Which is why
I mean,
I
no, you
only read
shouldn't.
from like independent sources that are
Yeah.
online,
Or his
like,
son,
independent
Lachlan
journalism
Murdoch.
and whatnot. I mean, obviously you watch what's on like the mainstream media, so you know what garbage they're spitting out, so you know who to distrust. One thing I particularly like doing is like scrolling through YouTube, like on the homepage, and you go down and you see like the news outlets.
oh yeah,
And then you see like 5 different sources, all the very different headlines, which are all of you like very bleakly different. And you see like 2 or 3 of them will
true.
be they'll feel pro-Trump.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it'll come up with some headline that's vaguely like,
He's not
"Oh,
wrong.
Trump isn't out of the race
It's-
yet," says sources. And then the other 3 will be,
And ironically, he
Biden.
almost wasn't. Like, that election was kind of scary because Trump
And you just see that
had a
scale
lot of
of
support.
where people reside.
He still does, which is irritating. Like, the fact that he could potentially run again is a bit annoying.
Brandon's saying a lot of interesting things, and I feel like it's really irrelevant.
Oh,
I think you can speak up, Brandon, you know?
No,
Oh, no, that's as far as it goes.
No, you
Oh,
pulled
is
the
it?
cord and then the tripod almost fell off it.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
We're incredibly rich.
Yeah.
We are
Unbelievably
very
rich. We are a part of the
Unbelievably
1%.
rich, incredible.
We
We
have
do.
cords going everywhere.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. It's all
God
wireless.
management.
It's Bluetooth.
In all fairness, having lots of cords is normal, I would say.
If I
Yeah,
recall, at the
very
time he had
It is indeed.
Jay's
Yes.
mic, which has always been rather nice.
Yes, of course. Please. This is
Uh,
riveting stuff, Calan.
Yes.
I had
What
a
were we just talking about?
$40
Politics.
mic.
And then we streamed into
I
I
think
US
think Brandon might
politics.
have had one too.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Got it off eBay or some shit.
that's another thing. Like, recently, like, purely because of
Then
Trump.
like what, about
like,
11
every other
episodes
country
in, when
has
I
been
was on
looking
like some
at
COVID
America,
doll
and
shit.
rather than have
Bought some
themselves
better
for
mics for me and
politicians,
Budgie.
And that, like, dissuades a lot of people.
Find it
from even
hilarious
looking
that
at their own
Budgie ended
country's
up like
politics.
Yes.
You don't tune into the news to see what's going on in
a couple
Australia
episodes later,
or the Philippines
not
or
being
Venezuela
permanent.
or like South Korea.
It is what it
or some
is.
shit. You look to see what's
good mic.
happening in
In
America.
It
Yep.
doesn't help that even like online, like TikTok, Twitter, it's very
Yeah.
saturated by the
She said the
American
TikTok
media.
word.
There's
Exactly.
so many
There's
of
so
them,
much
and they're so
Americanization going on.
loud. Like, shut
Exactly.
up!
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening in this country half the time. I don't
Exactly.
care about you, even though
No
you
one
could probably
knows.
end us in a second.
Exactly.
This
Like,
is
no one
true.
knows
This is one of my
Australia
biggest
is
gripes
the-
with
has the
America.
highest
They're
land
like,
clearing rates in all
they're-
the developing countries, and it's actually
they are
one of
probably
top
the
10
biggest
countries in the
threat
world
to
for,
all
like,
of human
land clearing.
civilization.
We're
They
clearing
own
more forests
all of the
than
big
the Amazon.
numbers, the
You
big
know, the
bombs.
Amazon's, like, that's constant legal logging from people
This is
just
also
trying to make a
true.
living, you
I
know,
think
getting
currently
50
as it
cents
is,
a
we're
massive
ranked
pipe
within the
of
top
beer.
5 in the world
And
for
we've
logging.
made a
But not even just
fucking
we,
arsenal out of
like
destroying it.
only Eastern Australia, like those eastern
it's-
states,
Yeah, it's really scary.
like Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria. Now Tasmania's contributed.
Expectations. Okay, well,
Yes.
not as political
Great
as.
segue.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, Calan.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's not a whole lot. I kind of just want to get by. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Getting by is
obviously,
quite low for
uni, we all
Jaden.
have
He's
uni
doing
now,
quite a lot of
so-
amazing
Well, that's
things.
it.
yes,
Yay.
very,
From a very
big
big,
boy.
very nice
times now.
university.
So yeah, obviously I want to do well.
Some youth
not,
citizen
you know,
of the
fail.
year
Yeah,
awards
yeah.
here and there in
Family.
local government areas.
Of course,
Be the
of
weakest
course.
link, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's doing very
I mean,
well for
like,
himself.
School life for me will be very different. I feel like for the past couple of years, a big part of my identity or whatever was like my leadership positions
School
in
He may as well
school.
still have those positions.
Thank you very much. Thank
In
you.
uni
Thank you.
currently.
Hold that thought. Hold that
Yeah.
Pause,
thought.
pause.
There we
Yes,
go.
thank
Wow.
you, our
That
live
was
studio
horribly
audience. Thank you
delayed.
very
My
much.
bad.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you. I just don't know
That's
what
right.
to do.
It is a music.
Yes.
I hadn't bothered fixing
No,
anything
it's
like
not. We're so
peaking and
rich.
whatnot.
Yes.
No.
Anyways, please continue. Jaden.
Right, yes.
Do go on.
Thank you, audience. So yeah, I
Thank you
feel
very
like
Studio audience.
thank you.
Thank
A lot
you.
of my stuff has been around that rather than my actual studies. So it'll be a bit different this year. You know,
Sure hope so.
yeah, hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully. I'll be a bit more.
If you ended up repeating year 12, that'd be a bit sad.
That would be sad.
Yeah.
Be pretty funny.
It
He got
would
a
be.
very high ATAR. There
Yeah.
was no
School captain
chance.
2 years in a row.
I mean, in high
Did you do
school.
that?
Did what?
Now I'm interested. Could you run for school captain 2 years in a row? If you
I
go
mean,
for year 12
considering
again, if you
Jaden's
repeat?
popularity in the school, he was
Yeah.
absolutely beloved in our school.
I know there
Thank
was no
you
way I
very
wasn't
true.
getting it when they like
Yeah.
called the election. When they like called out the results, I was sitting in the room. The moment he walked in, I just shouted, "There's the future school captain!"
Yes, you did.
Before they'd even told us anything.
Yeah, pretty much in the voting ballots that we did, I can guarantee everyone would have voted for him. Like no
Yes.
one could find a better fit for a school captain or a leadership role as Jaden.
Thank you, thank
You've
you.
No,
never
I'm
met
only noticing
anyone
now that
that had such a wide
numbering somewhere must have gone
across, like,
wrong.
every single group in the year.
on Spotify,
Everyone
this is
from,
listed
like,
as
the
episode
Misfits,
7. On YouTube, it's episode
the
2.
Misfits to like the gamers to the.
Did I just say 7? No,
quote-unquote popular
episode 0.
kids.
Yeah.
He had so
Thank
much
you.
respect, and it's well deserved.
Feel
And
very
for those that didn't, because I did hear a couple people. who
Some
were
people were
like,
just
"Who's
salty.
Jaden
I nearly,
Cassidy?" I don't
you know, we
know.
practically
Well,
started
Dennis,
a cult
I
around
let a
Jaden.
conversation go like that.
Which is
when someone
interesting.
asked who you were, and then someone
our
else
view?
replied like, "Oh, he's just some really popular guy, but no, I don't really know why he is." And I nearly beat the shit out of him there and there.
This
Thank
is
you
true, I
very
nearly
much.
did.
Yeah, that's probably some of the.
You had
newer
at least
kids.
like 5 haters total, I think.
Yeah, out of like a school of what, like
With,
just
like,
under
over
2,000.
1,400 or some
1,000 or
shit.
whatever.
I don't care.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I have a lot of supportive friends. I'm very
You do.
fortunate to. Thank you. Thank you,
That's
everyone.
all of
Thank
Jaden's
you.
supportive
Wow.
friends here in the
Yeah.
audience
Wow,
right
how'd
now.
they all get in here? Thank you very much.
All
They're just
1,400
crowding
of them.
outside of our studio.
They are. We've got like a horde
We
of
did
people
actually have,
surrounding
like,
the
a-
buildings that we're obviously,
a location.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
We even got
Studio's
up
block.
we even got
Yeah.
a sign.
Yeah, inner city.
Although rather
Yeah,
sadly,
right
we
now
only
in
ended up
Sydney.
using that sign
Yeah, it costs
Of
to a
course.
total of
tremendous amount of
once,
money
and then we
to
ended up
every
going to a
hour.
completely
yes,
different
but we're rich, so,
location.
you know, it's
Yeah,
We are
exactly.
unbelievably
I don't
rich.
recall
We
why.
don't
I
even
think
use
people
this
just
building,
weren't comfortable with the
very
amount of
often. We
travel.
only come here to record like
Uh,
Two
2-3
weeks.
weeks. Yeah.
This week we're doing it twice.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yes,
We
we
are.
are.
This is
Yes,
true.
we
No
are.
one knew, like,
Back when we had a lot of moxie.
Wow.
We were on a
Very
break
enjoyable.
as
So how did you
well,
find
so
being a school captain? Like, you know, was it a challenging thing, especially since, you know, COVID?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
true.
Well, I speak a bit about this on your
Said the
podcast.
C
If
word.
everyone, can we, what's the word? Promote your podcast.
Okay,
Right
it's not really a podcast, but I'm working on a video where I interviewed a bunch of students from year 12 and how they got through COVID because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it is something that kind of screwed up a lot of our expectations
Just a
of year
little
12.
bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
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 It's not out yet, but
I'm sure
when
you
it
could
is,
find
you will
that.
see it in the description.
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's in the
links to
description.
that
Just
when
go
it
back
comes
to
out. It's gonna be
episode
around
2/0. Depending,
Yes, yes, you-
probably episode 2
Yeah.
on YouTube.
So
That'd
basically,
have
Jay
the
has a
link.
lovely little
Little
project
plan
going on, and we
Little
speak a bit about this there, but we'll give the link to everyone later on.
It's okay. You're allowed
In
to.
like
Back
three
then, we
months.
also had
Yes,
custom
yes,
thumbnails.
yes.
Like Jay would actually
Yeah.
draw
I don't know.
Can't give away all
In
the
particular, I'm rather,
Yes.
I'm rather
But for the
fond of
sake
that
of our
emu.
only Any Last Words podcast people here,
Last words
Um,
in the podcast.
What does that
Last Words Any
end?
podcast. Yeah, leadership for me this year was very, very, very enjoyable. It was definitely different to what I expected.
Okay, so we made
But,
about 8 episodes
yeah,
in
very-
until we
Only person
stopped.
who didn't
But this is
expect.
fair.
Everyone
Yeah.
else did.
Yeah. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I definitely enjoyed it more and more as I was going along, because, you know, I kind of fell into the role more comfortably. But,
This is
Yeah,
true.
I don't know.
Initially, you were a bit tentative about taking any sort of role. Like, I think you were planning to like not take it initially.
yeah, originally I just,
This
you know,
is true.
I loved, like, community service,
like,
social
you just
justice.
loved being Jaden rather than
Thank you
having
very
like, a
much.
title attached to it.
Thank
Who
you.
wouldn't
thank
love being Jaden?
Ah, thought and stuff.
Unironically, Jaden's
But yeah,
personality just speaks like
Well, you did naturally
communal
fall into that,
leader.
like, it was
Like he's
very
not the
much
type of
aligned
leader
you
to
as
take
a person.
direction. He's more of
Because let's
a
be honest, like, it's
leading by
small
example
doesn't really
amongst the
have any
people.
significant
Yeah.
Very humble
implications.
individual.
From my
Yeah.
Which is
brief
one of his better
experience,
traits, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
like,
House
I
captain.
discovered, well, very quickly that there was no actual implications or significance to any of the roles, and it was really just, teaching staff laying off some of the work that they didn't feel like doing, which was usually running presentations and making fucking...
Obviously, go for
Yeah.
fucking
Or telling
school
Finding
Yeah.
gifts.
politic
Yeah,
roles.
exactly.
It'll get you
Yeah.
bonus
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
on
Oh, I didn't
resumes
have
when you're looking
heaps
at
of weight.
Macca's.
But it was just like for people who wanted to
But let's be
do
honest,
something,
that
this was
that
something
shit's
they
only
could apply
relevant for
It
like
was essentially
6
getting
months.
a couple extra points. For
No
getting
one
on.
cares.
Yeah, pretty,
Yeah,
that's
actually,
what it is.
it really helped me. I'm not gonna go
I
into that,
wasn't
but
even on my
I benefited from that
fucking
quite a
resume
bit.
at this
That wasn't
point.
what I was planning.
I'm
on
only
doing,
like
but
first
I
year in
ended up
uni.
That was just
a bonus.
It
Just a
means
little-
nothing. It is actually rather
Yeah,
expensive.
it's
Let's
not-
be
not
honest. Like,
bad.
you pay all
Not
that
bad.
money if
I
you
think
go to
having you as school captain,
private
it really
tuition or,
helped,
like,
Oh, yeah.
morale
non-government
of the
funded
student
tuition.
body.
Thanks.
You were
This is very
certainly,
expensive
Yeah.
for
Like,
a number that lasts for about 6 months. I just dropped
Photos on the
something.
wall at home and
That'll probably turn up in the
He
recording.
did.
Did.
I
filmed,
did.
Little videos with some of the other SRC
Yeah.
members.
Yes.
And just sent them out to the whole school just to keep people a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely
He did,
say
it was
this,
funny.
But I don't think you get at a school, well, anyone in any sort of position like that. You do not get someone like Jaden Legaspi very often.
No,
He-
rare
he
breed.
is-
Not at all.
Yeah, he certainly leads in his own, not necessarily unique, because if you think about it, it's kind of like peak leadership.
Thank you very
He's
much.
the community person. He leads without leading. He leads by example, and in a very communal way.
It's very effortless
Thank
too.
you.
It never
is
seems
as well.
forced.
Yes.
Thank you. I
Once again, it's
appreciate
that whole
that. I appreciate
There is-
lead
I
by
feel pretty
example
awkward.
amongst the
It's true.
people lifestyle.
Thank you.
Learn it.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. I'm all right. You guys are too kind.
So in about 2
See how
years,
humble?
you'll have
Minister.
probably what? Yeah, exactly. If not prime
I
minister,
don't know. I don't know.
Youngest prime minister? Question mark.
I'll just go as prime minister for you. Like, you take the actual position, and then I'll just
He can handle
sit
the
in the
politics.
back.
You
well.
can, yeah, you can do the
Yeah,
political
I'll do
stuff.
the political
You're the
bit, and you
face.
can
I'll
go out and tell
yeah.
everyone.
You're the face of
I'm
Australia.
just like the headpiece,
Yeah.
but I'll
We're
let
waiting
you
for it.
dictate everything that I do. Yeah. But yeah.
So bad.
When it comes down to it, all the nitty gritty
Well,
political
just give me
stuff.
some like dot points, and you can tell everyone in your
There
own
we
little
go.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me more so, it's just the
Save
service.
more koalas.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
then you can just go out and with that little piece
Yeah.
of information, and then you'll go lead the world by storm.
Yeah, I enjoy the more hands-on communal stuff more than the actual like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I don't even know political
I do think
stuff.
that
Yeah,
often
so-
I have a very
it's gone
environmental
good.
focus when it comes to my political interests.
Yeah.
Like at the time, it was very focused towards
Well, Jaden was very
koalas,
good at speeches.
Uh,
though. That's
He
one
was.
thing
Largely
that was
because
very
of-
That is the
obvious.
one
the
thing
amount of
which I really
koala-related
think
incidents that had been
every
happening
leader
during
should have. That's the one
Berejiklian's
skill that you
reign
need to have. It's communication
in Baralaro.
effortlessly.
Fortunately, they're
I'm
gone
sick
now,
and fucking tired.
which is pretty good.
5 years
their
of
replacements-
education, having
Yeah.
people stand up the front, you can't hear shit.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
Or they,
fuck
they
them.
would have that reading voice that's just very obvious. They're just reading and
Hello
not actually
everyone, good
speaking.
morning.
But yeah.
Yes,
But
Currently,
Jaden
actually,
did
my
it
focus
really
is
well.
in
Like, not only
water,
was he good with improv, if he didn't
particularly
have
with,
anything
like-
prepared, he would actually on
Ooh.
a lot of occasions memorize
That echo
the
is
whole
rather
entire
nasty.
speech and then go up there.
But yes,
everyone all
water
the time. He
management,
did that a lot during our
particularly
classes
when it
as well.
comes
And
to
everyone would just be like,
downstream
"Thank God, he's having a
communities,
speech, we get to watch
typically
it."
Thank you.
indigenous communities,
Yeah.
they're actually communities where they've got radioactive material
Highlight.
in the water.
Yeah,
Thank
Families
God.
are like seeing
Thank you
Actually,
very much.
why don't you
overrepresentation
do a
of.
speech right now? We'll give you a random
Ooh,
topic.
speech.
A
And you
ran-
have to say something as
No,
Stop
motivation.
talking
Sure.
about cancer in the water and
I
shit.
know. Maybe we should save some stuff for this one.
Just a little bit.
Maybe.
Just a little. Come on.
Yeah.
Quick teaser.
Hey, how about we go 30 seconds?
30
30
seconds.
We never ended up
About
recording
one
or
topic
releasing
that
that
one of you guys
spotlight
have
actually, which is
Okay.
a pity.
So
I think
Brandon, what
I think I
topic
deleted the audio as well, which is also a pity. Because Jaden made a really funny joke and it was slightly racist. So, really good.
I really,
Anyways,
whatever
just
you
gonna
want. I'm
listen.
not gonna make this professional. This is just gonna be
Make a speech about
The Office.
The
The
Office.
TV show.
The TV show, The
TV
Office.
show. Not our office.
No.
Yeah.
We had a
All
nice
right.
office.
Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds.
To think
No
about.
worries.
think
Oh,
about
good.
something.
Whenever you want,
Ready?
I'll just
Okay.
make whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna start the timer in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
No worries. The Office, a television show. Obviously, when the first thing that comes to your mind is comedy, satire, entertainment. But when it comes down to it, The Office is really a reflection of the extraordinary in the ordinary. The Office, it's an everyday setting, an everyday environment, and I think it reflects the beauty of true humanity. Relationships, organizations coming together to make something bigger than ourselves. And that is The Office.
Oh my god!
That's what she said.
Very
Thank
nicely
you.
done.
Oh, whoa!
I gotta say, that was...
I can't remember if he mentions
very
this,
much.
but that's actually his
What did you guys think of
template
that?
speech
That-
for
Yes.
scenarios
Thank
like that
you.
where they
Thank you,
expect you to
lovely
do
audience.
If
improv.
you like that,
Uh,
hey,
You did like that.
Which they
do you
do
have
ask
any
you to do.
suggestions about what you want Jaden
Yes.
to talk about for 30 seconds? Drop it down in the comments.
Hey,
below.
I'm the
Please do.
guest that comes every episode. I'm happy. Whatever you guys want. I'm just
That
I'm
was a
just here.
lie. He only
I'm just
came
here.
for like the first
He is
4.
Indeed here. And it is great. We
Thank
wouldn't have
you.
it any other way.
So yeah, I like public speaking. I like service. So actually, no,
He does.
I think I've been
he was
speaking
pretty
for a
good at
lot.
public
So
speaking.
we'll save more for my spotlight or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy to move on now.
Yeah.
So
Brandon. What
Brandon.
does 2021 look like for you?
Woo!
Wow, they're still stuck on the same topic.
Honestly, it's just going to
We did.
going to uni.
We really
That's
lengthened
it, pretty
things
much.
out,
That's all I've got
which
really in
wasn't implicitly a bad
Yeah.
thing, but it wasn't amazing
Go
either.
to uni.
yes,
Sorry,
yes.
Calan gave me the gesture to raise my voice a little because
Yeah.
we have. I've
I know
centered
you're a
the
little bit
microphone.
mic shy.
He
Yes.
also has a sock on
Yeah,
his
I got a
microphone.
sock on my mic.
To improvise what is it, what is it called? I've forgotten already.
I don't know. It's like that foam stuff that goes around.
I've literally forgotten what it's
Mhm.
called, but just assume it's a boom or whatever.
Yes.
We've just improvised it because it was his
Yeah.
mic is very sensitive, just like him, and it was detecting Jaden's voice.
So
So-
I took off my sock and wrapped it around my
Yeah.
microphone.
It's
so
a
that was
dirty
lovely.
sock.
He's got his dirty, sweaty sock wrapped around his back.
Mm.
Exactly.
I,
But we
I
are still
believe we still
unbelievably
use
rich.
that
We just-
sock
Yes.
and that
Fairly
mic.
rich.
We just forgot
Yeah.
it. We
Oh,
forgot it.
we're like when
It's-
Kim Kardashian.
It's rather interesting.
She invited all her friends
To the private
to
island
a private
for
island
her
to.
birthday, and then someone got COVID.
I
and it
can't
was hilarious.
stand-
Yeah, no, she said it was like
Stand. I
humbling
can't stand. I can't stand
Yes.
the
It's about a humbling
Kardashians.
experience, everybody. Like, to get away from the COVID, you know what? And just exist like normal people.
Yes.
I tried actually watching the
Excellent, Calan. For those who
finale
didn't know, that was
of
Calan.
Keeping Up with the
Probably forgot. He was actually
Kardashians.
here.
I know.
Without the
And
video.
I only
That's
lasted
not
about
enough.
3 minutes.
She's getting
Yeah.
desperate.
They,
now
it,
for money,
it
like,
literally
divorcing
felt like
can't
watching a
be-
documentary
Exactly.
about aliens. Like they're
Okay.
not
Okay.
human.
That's interesting.
They're just so
We'll find out.
wrong.
Yeah.
Find out in the
It,
next
it,
year.
it genuinely terrified me and hard, like
feels very surreal and
disgusted
like no
me
one
to
should
my
really
core.
care.
No one really
Mm.
No one
cares.
really should.
I didn't even know about it. Well,
Yeah.
that's-
I didn't know about
That
it either,
doesn't
to be
say
honest.
much, Brandon.
It,
That
does,
really.
yeah, it really does.
I know.
There we go. Once again, very classic
I
Jay
understand
You know,
because
most of your
bullying
life,
Brain
actually.
Brain.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
Talking about your life.
Where is it going?
my
Where will it be?
I don't know. I'm just kind of hoping. Yeah, I'll learn how to animate this year. That'd be lovely. No,
It would-
He's working
Also,
on it, but it's mostly just been drawing naked people.
the human form, mastering anatomy, because I kind of suck.
Anatomy is
The hand
very
bone
difficult.
is attached
Yes.
to the arm bone, which is attached to the elbow bone.
Brandon,
No,
why are
no,
you
no.
hitting me?
The head bone's connected to the leg bone.
Jaden is
I
currently
was-
tearing off Jay's head.
That's a
Brandon, take your,
reference to The
put your
Office.
clothes back on.
Also-
My goodness.
Callan, put the hat back on.
I am currently dying. Just slap his leg.
For everyone back at home,
Settle
Brandon
down,
just
children.
slapped my leg. My
Uh-oh.
goodness.
Such violence
Cancel
is
him.
going
Cancel
How
him.
sexual.
Hashtag cancel Brandon.
Cancel
Brandon.
Did Brandon just grope Jaden
B.
Legaspi?
The pizza,
Pizza
man.
man, yeah.
Hashtag
The
cancel
tissue
the
I'll
pizza
have
man.
to
No, not the
bleep
tissue
that out.
I like the tissue man.
No.
Anyways, go on. So I'm
Anyways,
sorry.
We'll
yeah.
explain that one day.
Basically, that's what I've got planned for this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it goes well.
It was kind of like it was fairly. I mean, I don't want to call it a blessing because I feel like God's an arbitrary concept. But yeah, there we go.
We say
Yes.
as we sit in a chapel.
Yeah.
We did actually.
Jesus Christ.
Now that I
Jesus is
recall,
It is.
our
it also
recording
acts as a chapel.
room was in fact
It's multi-purpose. That's how rich
Multi-purpose.
we
a
are.
miniature
Jesus was a
chapel
person, he just wasn't
inside of a
white.
larger overall
Oh, he
study
definitely
building.
wasn't white.
He definitely
Which
was
is-
not white. But yeah, he was the.
Yeah, it,
But I
it was
don't know about
good.
his dad.
But we said a lot of profanities,
Relatable.
a lot of very naughty
Yeah.
words in that
To all
chapel.
our Christians out there.
Yeah, you guys are cool. You just might be wrong. But
Anyways.
yeah, It was certainly very fortunate of you to get into the course that you did.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't anticipate it at
Honestly,
first.
it was a weird one. They bumped up the requirement to get in at 96.
They did, which is actually
8 times.
rather
Yeah.
shocking.
Which for the Americans would
96
probably be
is-
closer to like what 5?
Basically
GPA?
99%.
Yeah, something very high.
Yeah.
On whatever the fuck the GPA
Yeah.
system.
For
is.
no
Well, I don't know
reason,
what that
because
is,
it's
but I know it only
hard.
goes up to 5.
Well, actually, the reason was is they were trying to whittle
yeah,
down
so it's
the
like
amount of people.
very, very high for an animation course when
Like, I
things
mean, they're
like
trying to, like,
architecture
control
and,
the
you know, like,
flow
medicine,
Yeah.
of people getting into certain courses,
Yeah.
Architecture.
etc.
In Australia, you would want to get into law.
I believe they were trying to
something
push
useful to
people
society.
into
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
engineering
Oh.
degrees and whatnot.
Politics and philosophy and some shit.
I
A
didn't
lot
end
of
up picking that. Just
areas
Comedy
which
you
we
got
didn't really
into
need
it.
all that much,
did,
and then they actually
unfortunately. But yeah, just
made the
commerce
creative and
and
social
so JADEN and Calan are the
sciences
ones that are actually going to be
higher and
beneficial
something
to
to society.
society.
Yeah.
Me and
Yeah,
yeah,
Brandon
like they
are
had
the
higher
ones that are gonna write a
requirements
physics
and they were a lot
test.
more
And
expensive
Creative
people, though, like
to
your
cover the
creative,
costs for engineering
creativity,
courses.
Sure, like the
It didn't
initial
end up
foundation of
working,
society
though.
does rely on that practical
So,
aspect of society.
you know,
But
artists
it's
just
creativity
pay
that allows
a
for
lot more
innovation.
money to
Yeah.
get
And
broke.
the explosion of innovation in society.
You two are the spice of our world.
Literally.
But there is no industry in
Maybe
Australia.
paprika.
Yeah,
Sorry?
go ahead. Brandon can be cumin.
Maybe
Paprika. Paprika, that suits
Paprika
you.
and cumin, because salt and pepper is way overused. Thank
Yes.
you, French
I don't get the
royalty.
joke.
It's spice.
Ah, the spice of life.
Cumin,
Didn't take long
paprika,
for me to get a
spices.
bit of French
Do you know what
hate
spices
in
are,
there.
Brandon? Thank you, studio
Thank
audience.
you, studio audience.
Ah.
I love you guys.
Thank you, studio
That was very
audience.
realistic.
We are adhering to COVID restrictions, by the way.
Yeah,
This
very
is just a
much.
joke.
Of course.
We are not. Please don't find us.
Well, we don't have that preference to be a live studio.
No,
audience.
I only have like 50.
That's solid.
That's about much.
I don't
That's,
even
that's
have
not that
50.
much.
Interesting. I think you can hear the helicopter in the background.
Brandon.
I really should have closed that window before I started recording, but
What are your expectations
You
for
know.
2021?
Sorry.
It'll be one
No, that was
it,
wonderful.
it ties in with the ambience that I've got in the
2021.
background,
My expectations.
which I edited at some
I'm
point
hoping
because
it's
I
gonna
was
be a
just
much
too
better
lazy
year
to
than
like
last year, 'cause
Well, that's-
do my editing job
Even though I
and
didn't
take out all like
suffer.
static
that
and shit.
great.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, it's rather difficult too
You know, I
because
didn't
some of these
suffer
mics
great
are just
that great as
like they're
other
all
people
varying
had.
quality.
Like, I kept my job throughout COVID.
So
and
Mm.
because
I-
when,
I'd be
yeah,
fucking
very
around
true.
with other people's voices
did,
way
and
too
also,
much,
like-
and it would just
Like,
get all icky.
Yeah.
Like
I
actual
work in
foodie.
like
So
a,
I just figured, hey,
cafe.
fuck it, I'll just put
and
some
because like I'm just
free
that
licensed
close
music
with
and
my
fire
bosses,
and rain
I was
noises
one of the
in.
few employees that actually had to work because we did takeaway, which is what
Although
we're allowed to
the
do.
main issue with me
Yeah.
editing is that I am
Greatest time. 'cause
going
Saturday I
deaf,
did nothing for a couple hours and got paid for
so
it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
audio balancing has just been
Yeah.
very
A lot of things happened last
hit
year
or
for me.
miss,
It just
let's say.
happened so fast.
I really don't know
Like, on
why
the
we
same
let
day
me
that
do
we
it. I
officially
think it's because no one
graduated
else is fucking
from,
bothered.
Year 12 in high school in general. I got my license right after that,
She did.
and then the next day I got employed to do another job.
What?
She did.
And I was like, okay. And
Jay has
then,
always
a
been a
couple
very
weeks later,
busy
we had
individual. That kept
trials
her
and
hands
HSC, and I was like, what?
very dirty and grounded.
And then the U was like, no!
Yep.
We're gonna
then-
keep going!
And then there's
It's
more.
up to 11!
You would not believe this.
That's a reference that no one my age knows.
Yes,
Oh,
she
that's another thing
did.
that- yeah.
Yes.
So in Australia we
Wait,
have.
hold that
wait,
Yep.
wait.
Audience, yes.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
studio audience.
Very well deserved. Very well
If that
deserved.
turns out scuffed in the post, that's going to be hilarious for
Yeah.
me, because I might just not ever edit over it, and I'll just leave it really shit.
Yeah, sorry, audience, if that is bad.
Yeah.
Blame Brandon.
Blame Brandon.
It's all
Cancel him on
Brandon's
Twitter.
fault.
That's my
I don't
favourite
have
show,
Twitter,
right?
yeah.
Blame
Just
Brandon.
cancel him on
Yes.
Twitter anyways, because it's the only place you can really cancel people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or make him
yeah.
a Twitter account so you can add it and then blame him.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Art Express is like the highest achievement you can get in
Yeah, I
secondary
remember
education
this.
for visual arts.
We were very proud
It,
of Jay.
and I got into that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm
Jay
getting
has
my
always
artwork
been a very
displayed.
amazing artist.
at
I don't
the
think I plug it enough, but
Very
yes, like her
Which one?
socials, her
Which
art.
one?
Really good.
Which
Always
art gallery? Our viewers
extraordinary.
will have a
Oh,
look.
it's it's gonna be up next year, but it's at
I did try to
Next
commission
year
her
was-
to do another
Oh, this
piece for the
year,
podcast,
sorry.
Alright,
but I
yes.
don't think that
Still in
ever came
phase
into
as well.
fruition.
The next year.
Perhaps by the end of the year, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that was cool.
It
But
was.
this year, Because I think last year I was pretty focused on art, even though I did do fairly good in music as well.
Extraordinarily good.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nothing too
We
much.
came first. Yeah, but I want to do focus a lot more on music, especially since so I'm going to university as well, and I'm studying a bachelor of music.
Very nice.
Very
As
nice.
you do.
That is the one degree that you
Yeah,
want to
so,
take to be broke.
I'm hoping to try and either start making and or publish a small EP.
As you do.
So
As
a
one
record
does.
of songs.
That's
Nice.
Yeah.
When that comes out, we'll put that in the link below.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming out
Only
yet.
in this episode.
We need to do a spotlight for you so we can just chuck this all
Yes.
Someday.
Yeah.
Once has
Yeah.
things to bring
Ooh,
out.
there we go. There was another one.
Oh.
I did it again, but anyway.
I was not good at this for the first
They
couple
keep saying my
episodes, so then
real name
everyone
because,
else
you know,
started
I'm
fucking up more than me,
We
so it
did
evened
recommend
out.
at the beginning, just before we were recording, that we should just write, "My name is Jay" on Jay's
Yeah,
forehead.
or just have those my name is stickers, the red
Yeah,
ones, and just slap it
exactly.
on my forehead. But I said no.
Yeah.
It's her fault.
It's
Yeah.
my fault. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
well, it's okay.
It's not really her
Yeah, but
fault,
that's
but
one
you
of the
know.
personal. Oh shit, the personal
Language.
goals.
Yeah.
I like how I say that.
Yeah, you. Of all people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my personal goals. But in general, for 2021, I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot more chill.
That'd
But-
be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
had a
hope this
pretty.
is a very uninteresting year.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
I
it
hope
so
it doesn't
far.
stand out
Yeah, I
amongst
think
everyone.
It's not
from
gonna
what,
be
what's already
uninteresting.
happened.
Yeah. There is an
There's a lot
old
more to
proverb,
come.
like a curse, which you would lay on people. I think it was just a very Eastern kind of proverb or curse, which went along the lines of, "I hope you live in very interesting times." And it was kind of like a curse hidden under a blessing,
Yeah.
which we've all really experienced with 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can interpret it
I
as,
mean,
oh,
as
like,
one
wow,
does,
these
you know, just
interesting
pull out
things
some
are
random
happening.
shit.
Historical events.
I
But it's
think-
historical events and everything's really shit. if
It's
you're
one of the
living
bad
in-
ones.
As disruptive as this is
Exactly,
to a
we all
flow,
love, studying
I
World
think
War II and
all of these
all the different interesting events in
interjections
history
and
whatnot.
tangents was kind of
At
like
least I do.
The history.
the
student
binding
doesn't enjoy
agent
it.
for
Yes,
one of
Then you
these
look,
yes,
you
episodes.
look at it and it's like, wow, this is all interesting. Look at all these dead people. But
I
then you
recall at one
realise,
point actually,
oh, yeah,
it started
that
to
would be
look as
really
if
fucking
That's gonna be us.
like we were
Yeah.
recording this
People in the
an
future,
episode
they're
where
gonna
we were
be
trying to
looking
schedule
towards
one,
our,
and
you know,
not everyone
period
could
of
make
history.
it.
They'll be like,
And I thought to
imagine
myself, well,
living
hey, we could
in
either
those
record
times
with
and we'll be
me,
like,
or you
"No."
guys could go and record on your own. They absolutely
wanna
hated that
be
idea.
here.
If there's
Also,
one
just
thing
get
I'm good
remembered
at,
for
it's
being complete fucking
rambling.
pussies.
Or just really, really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Why not
Either
both?
way.
I feel like that is how we're going to be interpreted because we certainly haven't lived through something quite as dramatic.
Well, that's good.
Because like
That's good.
society has
Yeah.
gone through pandemics before. Like this is not a
Now we
world
say
where-
that, but America's
I mean,
already
yeah.
like
like in the 19th
surpassed
century as
that
well.
death
Like, we've had
counter.
pandemics before.
Yeah,
We've
it's
had
happened on the
people wearing
20th
en
every
masse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
time.
Happens like every
Oopsies.
20th year of every century for
Yeah.
the past couple centuries, but it just happens like throughout the 19th
Yeah, so we're not
century.
special.
we get
We're not special,
pandemics
but
every
we
other
just
fucking day.
Made more of a fuss about it.
If
and
you
we
really
had
think
social
Because we
about
had-
it.
so we can make
Yeah.
even more of a fuss about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so when people do look back, they can
Yeah.
look through all the Twitter K-pop stands and be like, no, not
Yeah.
Jungkook,
Yeah.
he's gonna get back to the coronavirus.
I think there was even a point, one of the, I can't remember which one, but it was like around closer to the 60s, I think, 1960s, when people had to wear masks en masse, and they started making them as fashionable as possible. Like they
this
tried to
is
really
true.
lean into masks. And
We
make them
also
interesting.
started
When
doing
you
this,
see
but let's be honest,
like,
it
people
didn't
doing
work.
that again. History recurs itself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Amazingly
true that
well.
just
People are
history just
idiots.
repeats itself
Yeah.
tenfold.
It
Like
really
nothing's
does.
new, really.
Yeah, we just made more of a stink about it because
Yeah, we have
Facebook.
technology now,
Yeah,
and, and
exactly.
Facebook and Twitter. Now we can complain to the whole world and then get cancelled for it.
Apparently Facebook's going through a name change,
But the
largely
political climate
because
up to this was not healthy.
their end goal
A
is
lot
to
of
be,
countries
I think
were
it's a
not prepared for this because they
metaverse,
sort of just lived
which
in
is
that
just like a
space.
collaborative,
It
which is
wasn't
just a
something
general
that
idea,
anyone's
like with
minds until
technology
it was brought
and
up in
like
full. And it
online,
already happened. And then for a
the
couple months
online
after it already happened, a
concept
lot
or
of
the
people
online
still weren't
world per
caring.
se.
Hmm.
So
If you were to
that-
become a
that's
central hub,
Yeah.
for people's internet
definitely
experience
regressed as a
that would just
society.
kind of
Yeah,
make you
in a
like
lot of ways. There's not as
integral
much
Intelligence is
vigilance.
just down
to
even though we have
people's
so much access to
Like, the amount of
lives
security
because
scares we go
the
through
internet
now,
has
people
become
ignorant,
so prevalent in people's
stupid.
lives.
People just always
So I think
think it's never
Facebook's
gonna
trying to go
happen.
for that
And then
Exactly.
it does. And
kind of
you're
like
It's like,
oh,
great
no.
hub
But we
of the
fucking
internet
warned you.
kind of
You didn't
vibe.
listen.
Yes.
Just
Kind of
wear
like how
masks, please.
VR
Please
chat,
do.
if you
Wash
will,
your hands, you filthy creatures.
you know, like
please.
it
Absolutely
shoots off
disgusting
into
creatures.
I'm so glad
an
that
endless
masks are
amount
being
of smaller
normalized.
worlds
Mm.
based
Now,
on
if you're
different
going on the
ideas.
train,
But
you don't
VR
have to
chat itself
sit
is like
next to
the
someone who's
hub
literally
of
coughing their
everything.
brains out next to you, and it's all getting,
Yep.
and it's all getting on you
Excuse
now.
me? What the
Now you just
fuck?
tell them to wear a mask, and they will put
I think I
one on.
might have been
Yeah.
Mhm.
shitting
Most
on
societies already
someone.
normalize that, like especially
Yeah, well,
in
not
Asia,
us.
like Japan and so on.
Oh,
they
yeah.
had it right.
masks.
Because
They
air
had it
pollution
right.
got to them first.
Ex-
So
yeah, it did a
once,
little bit.
yeah, once it
this
came
is
time
No,
for
true.
they're
pandemic.
not. They're not as stupid as us.
Rather sadly,
This is
we're
true.
actually
We're
contributing to their
slightly
general
better than
pollution
that, but
because we
We're
sell a lot
tiny
of
bit better
coal.
than the US.
We're the America
Yeah, Australia-
of
Mini
Oceania.
This just
Yeah.
came out, but
Yeah.
Australia
That's
ranked
what-
dead
New Zealand
last
is
when it
Canada,
came
and we
to
are America. That's
like
just-
out of what,
we've
like
even got the
31
great,
countries
The great, slave problem
Thing
when it
is,
comes
yeah,
to
New Zealand
climate
is-
change approach and all that, particularly
They're
with
better.
coal.
They're
Yeah.
better
They're
in a
better
lot of
than
ways.
But they
We
still got their own
export the
problem.
most
They
and we
have their own
burn the
coal.
most coal by a long mile.
Mhm. No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
And we don't,
exactly.
and politically, we don't intend to
Except
change
for
it.
dogs.
Societally,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
dogs.
yeah, we
Dogs
want to
are
get rid of
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah, Joe Biden.
the liberals love it.
Second dog. He's got 2 dogs. But Champ is getting an inauguration.
Really?
Yeah.
Very
This
nice.
was cute.
Since he's coming into the White House now as a new dog. Wait, no, it was Major that's coming in. Champ's already been in the White House. But Major, a German Shepherd who's a rescue dog, like came from a pound. He's the first rescue dog to ever be, brought into the White House on a more regular basis. And
We should
his
really
old shelter is
normalize
actually
like
throwing him,
getting
a ceremony,
rescue dogs
inauguration,
or
Wow.
taking dogs that have
which
already
is in
gone
about
off to.
5 days, and they're
Well, you know what I mean.
holding
Just
Oh.
like
it
taking
as a
dogs that
fundraiser
haven't just been
event,
bred and
and
like
asking
sent,
people to
shipped
tune
into a
in
pet store and all
their
that
Wow.
crap.
dogs,
Nothing
and
wrong
they're
with those
aiming for it to
dogs,
be
but,
the
like,
world's largest, internet
Why not
dog
give a
party.
dog that's
That's
about to lose its
crazy.
home and new
It's good
home,
to
you
see
know?
dogs are moving up in the world,
Particularly
deserve
rescue
all the
dogs, you know?
especially a rescue dog. Like,
Dogs' lives matter.
That's good.
Yeah, more people should get dogs from like pounds and rescue services.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I mean, they all get fucking killed if they're left there for too long because
Yeah.
a lot of services either don't have the funds or the ethical concern. Peter.
Subtle shade.
Yeah, like it's cheaper. Most of them are somewhat.
It's not actually
cute,
very
and-
subtle, let's be honest though. And
You're
Peter
helping
is
your
a
precious dog.
Exactly.
rather
Dogs
disgusting
are better than
going out
business.
to
humans. We don't
backyard.
deserve
Let's be
dogs.
honest, they've never
We
really
really don't.
accomplished
Yeah,
anything.
but like a lot of people, they go to backyard breeders, which is kind of illegal.
Mm.
They go there instead of actually helping puppies that have just been left.
Yeah.
They've just been left alone.
We suspect that our
And
current
I know
canine companion,
a lot of people during
we
COVID,
actually
they
suspected that she was used
thought
for
I
backyard
would adopt a
breeding.
pet because they were at
That's
home a
highly
lot,
suspect
like, a lot
though,
of the
but
time.
yes, she
But I
she
don't think a lot of people really
she was
thought about
she wasn't
the
desexed and all that
the
shit, yada
longevity of
yada.
having a
Weren't
pet.
prepared.
But,
Mm.
So when they start going back to work, they're gonna realize
She's very
how much
cheeky, though.
effort you have to
She's
put
not a
into
fan of
having
other
pet.
dogs,
You
though.
have to,
So
because you're not
walking
gonna
her
be
is a
there
bit
all the time with
irritating.
them.
Mhm.
Not only
Nearly
are you
killed
gonna,
someone's,
have to juggle
you know, like
work
little
with
fucking purse
traveling,
dog.
but they're gonna be
Uh,
mentally affected
that was a bit of
because
an
you're not
oopsie.
there all the time, and therefore they're probably gonna have like behavioral issues.
She loves
So
people.
that's
though.
the thing
Someone's
out
going
of
to come
COVID.
home to a couch that's been torn up and then kick their dog out onto the streets.
Exactly. There's gonna be a lot of like the pounds, even though they a lot of them.
This is pretty
got
much
rid of a lot of the
exactly what
dogs, as in
happened.
people bought them.
They're going to get them back.
They're gonna get them back because people are stupid and they didn't think
Yeah.
properly. They're
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna be selfish and buy a dog now because I'm lonely.
Yeah,
And
it's a
then
legit
when, and then
commitment.
And
when
it
they
was- yeah.
find out how much work it is, they're like, sorry, goodbye. I don't need you anymore. And it's like,
And sure, like a lot of the time, it turned out perfectly well.
yeah, sometimes
Like it was
sometimes
giving a
it's
lot
good.
of dogs homes. Like there was a
Exactly.
purpose for it, and it turned out well.
Hmm.
But there's people who are non-committal or don't think things out through, or just very irresponsible, and putting them in charge of another,
Yeah.
creature's life.
It's pretty it's it's kind of unfair for the animal. And like I know a lot of them have gone to good homes and they'll probably be happy there, and the people that have them have actually thought about it and they'll be able to juggle their life with this dog's life and caring for them. But then it's just really
It
sad
is
to
an
think about
interesting
those people
balance,
having
although I
done
think
that,
the major
and they're just
thing
gonna
is like
discard this,
being able to interconnect them in the same space. Like having an outdoor dog is a very different deal from an
Yeah.
indoor dog.
Sorry.
Fun!
I think more people would be
That was a nice segment.
We've got our kind of second.
more malleable or like approachable if they're given an indoor dog, if you will.
Well, I've already done
I
that.
mean, yeah, we've all kind of done it a little bit, but Brandon.
God
do
damn
go
it, Brandon,
ahead, 'cause
speak
I forgot
up.
mine.
We're good on time as well, right? Are we?
We're brilliant for time. If this
We'll
was
see how much
now,
we can-
we'd have already stopped, but
54 minus
we're
7,
aiming-
something that
we
ends with a
secretly
7.
aim for 45 minutes, but we usually end up
47. There we
overextending
go.
into the
Yes,
50-minute
advanced
mark.
That's
math.
about the mark that we're
Meanwhile,
at.
here we're like, okay, just go for about an
47.
hour. If you want to push it,
that's
an
not
hour
bad.
and 5, and then we
Okay.
end up pushing it to hour
Bear with me.
14. Wow.
Okay.
Brandon will now be beatboxing live for us.
Not quite.
He will be.
Something along those lines. but
Slam
not-
Damn.
poetry.
Wait a second. Did we have a sponsor today?
We might have done.
Oh, you're right.
We didn't have a sponsor. Do we have a sponsor?
Should we?
We do have a sponsor.
We do have a sponsor.
That's right, everybody.
Okay.
Sponsor
Yes,
time.
this
Today's
was always fun.
Sponsor for the Any Last Words podcast is Brandon's Bakery. Located
Brandon's Bakery.
Thank you.
Get your baked goods at Brandon's Bakery.
Exactly.
You
At
really
Brandon's
started pushing
Bakery,
it there, but
we
anyhow.
serve only the finest quality products. You ever heard of Brandon's Butchery?
I've not.
Oh yes,
Basically,
yes.
I get all my butchery things there.
That's where we get our stuff. For our
Whoa.
bakery.
Oh, excellent.
What?
Yeah.
Sometimes
So,
we really just were not sure what we were doing, but
It is a
Oh.
weird topic. We were just talking about dogs and how we love
I-
dogs.
I am uncomfortable with the air in the studio today.
Oh my god.
There's something in my beef bread.
Oh my.
Bakery. Why are you getting stuff in
Well, I
bakery?
mean, you can have ham.
we really derailed this
It's
for
very
him.
true. What do they just like put ham bits?
Look.
It's all ethically sourced, though, right? All ethically.
Then just gets suddenly really quiet.
It's nearby.
That irritates me
Where
now.
the vegans go.
I don't think they would go to anywhere that has.
The bakery, it's completely ethical.
Sure it is,
100%
Brandon.
Guarantee you'll get your money back
That's
if
a
you're not
lie.
satisfied. It's not a lie.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
not a lie.
Halal
The
certified.
finger that I found in my last purchase, that was just a Halloween prop. Yeah, like we sorted that out.
Yeah. In that
Yeah.
bagel? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's an
Oh
Hmm.
right.
That's an accessory.
Oh, that was.
Accessory.
I was
Oh,
looking
is,
Oh my
it,
God.
is it like a
Yeah, yeah,
Kinder
yeah.
surprise?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
But you actually
But it's
have
That's-
the
inside
substance.
of your bagel.
And,
That's-
you,
and it's
and you
edible.
don't know
I've
if
not
you
had a
eat
Kinder
it.
surprise in a while.
That is a
They
They
terrible
need to make like a more
It's like a
palatable
crunch
option,
one.
like rather than just like give you a hollow egg
Yikes.
with a capsule and then move on. It's like, that's
Thank
just
you.
a waste of plastic. I mean, you shouldn't be making so much plastic in the first place.
No.
But you know what I'm getting at.
Alright.
They should just make like a bar.
Yeah, okay,
I know
thanks,
they
sponsor.
have,
Get my sound
like there are
effects
Kinder
thing.
bars, but it's not.
Welcome to
It's
Brandon's
not like an actual proper bar, you know.
Brandon's Bakery.
Buy your baked goods at Brandon's
Oh, is this one of the? Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Brandon.
One day we'll actually get a.
Now,
Yeah.
You guys are
now
gonna miss
to
it.
actually move on to my little segment here.
Wow. Yeah.
We have a little
Oof.
document here, and what he's written down is B.C.C.C.C.
This is the beginning of the BCC.
C.
There you go.
BCCCCCCC.
Yes.
I am dying to know.
Is
Oh.
that music?
Oh, are we clicking?
Sure.
Okay.
You want, yeah. Well then, ladies and gents, allow me to welcome you to Brandon's
Please don't.
comprehensive, capricious, and capacious, yet very casual, cliched conversation.
Ooh.
The BCCCCCCCC.
I
for
see.
short. Yes. Wait, I should probably hold up. There we go.
He was trying his
These
hardest, everyone.
conversations will delve into not only the finest tropes in media, but all. Forgot about that. In order, place. Yeah.
They forgot about that.
It will delve into the finest tropes in media, but also the most hated cliches that make me want to stick a tooth.
You know, this had promise. I will restate that. This had
It was
promise.
hilarious.
Like,
I
this
hate that.
could have
That's
really
terrible.
gone places.
Today,
I liked
in
this,
terms of
but
tropes, we're going to be talking about post-apocalyptic worlds because I love them.
we
I love
we
those.
had a habit of
Oh,
under
yeah.
preparing for a lot of things that needed that
My
preparing.
bedroom.
This in particular.
Well, it
When
looks
did
like
that
a
become
hurricane
post-apocalyptic?
basically,
Ever since the cockroach population died out.
Oh god.
we kind of got two main types of post-apocalyptic worlds, I suppose you could say. You got the one that's kind of like a few days after the apocalypse happens, mostly zombie apocalypses. That's where you'll see a lot of those.
Strictly speaking, between me and you viewers, this doesn't really feel like a
You've also got
like it's
the ones that
this
are
isn't really
set in,
types
like,
of
1,000
apocalypses,
years
and
from
more
when
so
the
like
apocalypse happened,
the
which
presentation of
might be
apocalypses, or
interesting
They
because
are.
when it comes into like a
I love
time,
it.
Yes.
a time
And
frame,
you know what? I'm gonna just talk about it right here. Adventure Time.
Woo!
or
That
just
childhood show
setting,
that we
you
all grew
know.
up with, set in a
We could have gone into
post-apocalyptic
like
world
detail
reminiscent
about like
of it was great.
different kinds
They even have,
of
like, a war.
apocalypses, like
Attention to
nuclear
detail.
I never
holocaust,
forget the
Extraordinary.
episode where
or apocalyptic
Finn
natural
ate a
disasters,
soy human.
human
Yes.
brought
I remember
disasters.
Yeah,
Fucking
that
I mean, the
vegan.
Yeah, and then
robotic
Bubblegum was
aliens,
like,
etc.
Hey, aren't you gonna
Zombies,
eat your soy
classic.
human, Finn? He
Oh,
was like,
sorry.
Ding.
And then
Sorry.
Ooh, wait,
Jaden.
Cut that out.
wait.
Up.
Or is
Sorry.
it? No, you have to tell us what that
I
was.
didn't cut it
Yeah.
out.
It was just Mum.
What did she
Aw.
say?
Just making sure I'm all good for pickup.
Aww.
I gotta. Yes. Thank you, Mom. Shout out to Mom if you're
You-
listening.
I don't tend to cut
I'm
things
all
out
good.
unless I need
I'm a
to.
big boy.
We all love you very
Uh,
much, and we're taking care of
Because
Jaden. We
I mean,
wouldn't
at the
let him
time,
do
I
that.
thought to
Or
myself
hurt
it felt
anyone.
more genuine.
Thank
we
you.
would let him hurt
You
someone
know?
because it was probably
That's
just.
fair enough.
In realistic,
Yeah, Adventure Time.
well,
So,
Come on.
in reality, what we should have done is like,
Distant lands.
Actually cut things out, and then
It's adventure time.
have a running bit where we also pretend to cut things
Honestly,
out.
that intro alone.
Fortunately, we didn't take off, and then we didn't actually get chased down for
Intro
anything.
alone for that show, you can see like
Oh,
arms sticking out of trees, nukes flying around. It is kind of scary though, because it was nuclear warfare that kind of created this world. But it's one of the best parts about it is each episode. their
Should have
backgrounds
leaned
are
into
so
this as
well
more of a
done.
case
They
study
make out
than like
individual
the
stories from random people who don't even have
the
a name
status
based on
quo
pictures in the background, buildings in the
for
background, and it just makes so much
apocalypses.
fun.
Because really,
Even though it's
Adventure
a
Time is a
kid's
bit of a
show,
unique case study.
so well
And as you said, it's not only post
Not to mention you've got the episodes
post nuclear,
as
but it
characters,
is
Marceline and the Ice King.
extremely unique in that it presents a very
no spoilers.
fantastical
Spoilers.
outcome, I suppose, to nuclear warfare.
Rundowns.
Because let's be honest, in reality, it's just everyone
See all
dies.
these mutated humans with goo coming out of their eyes and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember.
Oh,
seeing
yes,
that.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, those are scary.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize at first what that was meant to represent, but yeah. as you
Meant
get
to
into it,
represent
yeah.
your
Humans
mum.
with goo coming out their eyes.
I think that type of appeal in kids shows where they have realistic elements without being like, this isn't a show for adults here. Sex, alcohol,
I like how he
drugs,
said,
all these
well,
things.
Jay
They
said
Children
realistic
like their
elements
adults when you're
Yeah.
when it
feeding
came
media
to
results
Adventure
of the best
Time.
children's media.
It wasn't
in the
realism, it was
fucking world.
fantastical
Exactly, and it has
realism
that
at best.
replayability.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's what I was
Avatar.
thinking when I said
Yep.
that.
We can't talk about that.
We
yet.
can't talk about it yet because
Yeah.
we're going to have a whole episode dedicated to the Avatar.
We should really have an
Those types of,
Avatar episode
animated
sometime
TV shows,
pretty
they're the
soon.
ones that have that ability to bring you back because you remember it, and then when you watch it, you find new things about it, and you
Yeah.
understand things that your little preview-bested
We
head
did
didn't
technically cover it
understand.
with my
And
good friend
mostly
Justice,
adult jokes, but also things like that
brother
Goo
from
Monster.
another
I don't know
mother.
what the hell that was. I thought it was just
but that was more so covering
people,
Korra,
not
and
actual
realistically,
human beings affected by
that was just me
nuclear
shitting
warfare.
on
Like, what?
Korra.
Yeah.
I know
They
there are
don't have
good
to go the
points in
Netflix
Korra.
route.
Realistically,
Netflix,
and I've been
when they
meaning
try
to
to
do
make
this,
their
I
shows
should
more
really
mature,
rewatch
they
both
bring
of
in
them.
those themes that are just
Yeah.
unnecessary,
Just
like
to
the
like,
sex
you know,
and
just
the
with more
romance and
open-minded.
the really awkward shit. Which
take
is just,
on it,
which is
hopefully.
Just handled really awkwardly and unnecessarily so.
Yeah,
And,
it's like the only
yeah.
way that people.
If anything, I
like,
think a
some
lot of my
studios
emotion when it
think
comes to Korra
they
is
can
that
make
it could have been so
mature
much
shows.
better.
Yeah.
is just by shoving the most explicit
It sucks.
garbage
And
down
that's
our
what
throats
really
just
gets
to be
me.
like, we're an adults only
Relationships
show.
for the
Obviously,
sake of
I
a
would love
relationship.
All those types
a
of
new
That's
Korra, a
another
new
show
Avatar
talk about
season,
Exactly.
a new
Yeah.
Avatar.
God bless you, Korra.
Ooh.
But yeah,
But
Yeah.
well.
Maturity just comes from like interesting and thematical
That's
ideas.
interesting.
Although Aang
Which-
is definitely the strongest
Exactly.
Avatar of the two of them and would win in a fight. Kid at age 11 stopped a war.
Oh, incredible. My God. My
Yeah,
first
like
Zelda
dude fucking bodied Ozai.
It does.
Separate from the others, because that
Korra.
game, in every single bit of
Mm.
RPG you play in,
Is its own little story.
it's amazing. there's theories of made livings.
She engages in the power of Deus Ex Machina to become a giant,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
have the background
fucking
details and the types of statues that's consistent throughout.
pulled some goddamn mech shit
If you're doing a
at the end.
post-apocalypse
I
world
don't
like
know.
that, you've got to do it right.
Just didn't
You
sit
do
right.
have to put in the effort. It does have a lot of constituent ideas because you're essentially building multiple worlds.
Yeah. One before, one after.
And then, you know, some like, for the sake of depth, like that transitionary period as well. Also developing that is also really good.
Yeah, but I've never personally been a fan of like zombie
No.
apocalypses because it's like they're gonna
The
win.
idea of a zombie is
Yeah.
always has really fluctuated throughout history, and no one, it's never settled.
I like
for
to say
anything
fluctuated at
particular.
the time, but let's be honest, I could
But
have
it has to
used a
settle.
It
lot
does
of
have
different
to,
words
but
for
it's-
that
I
scenario.
think it's kind of
Anything else.
not only is it really overused now, it's just a boring concept.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
They're pretty basic
Design.
villains.
Yeah.
Objectively
No
speaking,
motives,
though,
no.
that's, I don't
yeah.
really like those kind of the first option of a post-apocalyptic world, like
One
just
immediately after.
immediately
Yeah.
after. I think it's kind of lazy
I feel
because they
like
just don't
zombies
want to
realistically
explore
is a
what's
simple
after
idea
or
with
why
which
these
you can
happened, or they just
inlay
wanna be like,
creative
It
elements.
doesn't really let that consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as impactful, really.
They need to
'cause-
be more innovative when they do something like that.
That's
Yeah.
why
I
I mean,
attention
obviously, like
time-
Shaun of the
Yeah.
Dead and movies like that, where they try to take like a more comedic and altruistic aspect onto it. That's
Yeah.
why movies like those are actually successful because they know what they are and they're treating it with the respect that it deserves. They're
Which-
satirizing the idea,
I believe a lot of the time would be
seriously
called
with an
camp.
ulterior motive, or like
Not
trying to
necessarily,
build
but
upon what's
typically.
already there and then making something really
There was one
interesting
zombie
and
movie
innovative
which I
out of
actually really
rather
loved. I
than just
watched it
like,
when
"Oh,
I was
no,
a
the
kid
world's
called
ending. Oh, I guess
Fido,
we're here now. Oh,
where
what's the new thing?
conceptually they'd
Protagonists.
actually figured out how to tame zombies by putting these collars on them,
Go ahead.
and people would get them
What
as
am I
like
doing?
house
Oh, yeah,
servants.
You're meant to bring something
Ah,
Um,
yes.
mentally.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna be
it's an
completely
interesting
honest.
idea.
I
A
didn't
couple of
quite
collars
bring
get
something.
broken,
I was just
a
like,
few
I'll just think of
crimes.
something on the spot,
But do you have
and we
any-
can talk about. Thank you.
It's like a
Yeah.
postmodern America, if you
No,
will,
I
where
can
like
see
Yeah.
gun laws just
To be honest,
become the
I
exact
had no idea
opposite
that
of
Adventure Time was a
existing.
post-apocalyptic.
Like there was this
Yeah.
one particular
I-
scene
yeah.
where these kids, like these
Yeah.
middle school
Yeah, that
kids,
makes sense.
I just
just
thought it
out
was a
on the-
cool, fun
like, and their
show. There's a
PE
dog
class
that can
is
like
essentially like on a
stretch
shooting
and
range,
stuff.
and they're learning
Yeah,
how to
so-
operate semi-automatic weapons
Yeah.
and crap.
That is very, very interesting.
It's
To be
hilarious.
honest,
Do check it out.
I can't really think of other post-apocalyptic stuff, but
That's
that is very interesting.
If I
Brandon.
mention Fido here, I'm
So,
gonna be pissed
yeah.
that I just talked
In
about
terms
it
of my
again.
thing to bring,
Because that means
I'll
I'm
just
boring.
like whatever
and
comes
I've
to
only,
my
like,
head in the
3
moment.
opinions.
3, 2,
trying to-
1, go.
Coffee.
Okay.
I like coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coffee's
I was
great.
just thinking of my Gloria. I had Gloria Jean's white chocolate
Not sponsored.
mocha. Non-sponsored. Yep.
This one is
Non-sponsored.
Brandon's Bake.
Brandon's Bakery. Yeah, is our
Totally
sponsor
legit
for
company.
today.
Yeah.
Yes. So coffee. What is our favorite coffee? I know Brandon doesn't drink any,
So
but-
his is none.
so his is none.
I like chocolate.
I
Hot
like
chocolate.
No, no, not
We're
sponsored.
also not sponsored. Please
course.
don't
I don't know why I blurred that, but that was
I
the
like
jingle for the company
espresso,
Bingley.
I think. To be honest, I don't have a lot of
Um,
coffee, but I think that's my favorite one.
So just
Don't
just
know
I don't
why.
think that was
Coffee.
necessary.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's go with that.
Is it-
Let's go
is
with
that.
that.
What you have? Just coffee.
Yeah,
Just a
sometimes.
shot.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
That's what.
I don't think he knew what he was talking
Yes.
It's
about.
just a
Maybe
shot of
It's a
coffee.
shot
No
of
milk.
coffee.
No milk.
just
Well,
dude
that's
just
what my mom
takes an
says she makes
espresso
me.
shot.
So
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
fair
what I
enough.
Oh,
have.
she's
Never mind, ignore me.
Callan,
I don't feel like I've experienced enough coffee to determine that I have a favorite.
Oh, lordy,
What do you
fucking
usually go for? Your go-to coffee.
I mean, I usually just get a flat white just to see, you know, like what
Very
the
nice.
basic building block of whatever establishment that I've walked into is.
Yeah.
You know,
very nice.
Flat
Just like
white's
see
always a
what
good
the
bet.
bar minimum is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like getting a cappuccino or some shit.
Yeah. I
That
think
feels
it's a
very
bit
white,
risky.
basic bitch.
No, I think getting a flat white's a good idea
Yeah.
when you're sussing out a new coffee shop because
I also
Yeah,
just like
depending on
it's simple, it's rustic, it's just
barista.
coffee.
they could potentially
Fuck it
make
up.
your cappuccino 90% froth and 10% actual
Yeah, I
liquid.
fucking hate froth.
I was
Whoever
about to
designed
say,
froth
I
is probably some
fucking hate
basic white bitch
froth.
in America from
Yeah.
the 60s.
I only like froth
Absolutely
with like
disgusting.
sweet drinks.
Yeah, and only if
Like,
the froth
hot
isn't
chocolate.
replacing what would have been drink there.
Yeah.
It's like having ice, which in your Macca's Coke,
Yeah.
it takes
Not
up
like
like half
beer?
the body. It's not like beer.
Oh.
I mean, okay, beer froths, but like you're still getting all the beer that was originally
disappears,
there.
and then you
The
get
froth
stuff.
disappears after a bit, yeah. And
It's not
yeah.
coughing you out of liquid.
Exactly, and as long as you pour it right, then like the froth isn't an issue.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I do have my coffee black on occasion when I feel like just really waking myself up, or I
drink
have to
milk.
stay up. You do drink a lot of milk.
I'm not
Very
basic.
basic.
I like cereal.
Actually, no, he's not basic. He's weird because he doesn't have coffee.
Oh,
That's yeah, that one.
Yeah,
This is
probably.
also
Basic
true.
people have certain coffees, but yeah,
Hmm.
he's
well,
alternative.
mine's very basic. I just like a caramel latte.
that's fair.
That's really
That's
basic.
lovely. Caramel
Yeah.
latte is
They
lovely.
taste good, and
They
you know what?
do.
I don't care.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Iced caramel latte, very nice.
Yum.
It's a safe bet. Like, I'm not
It
gonna
is. There's nothing wrong with it.
hate my drink because it's too bitter,
Yeah.
unless they just. I hate it when they.
Just
they
make
put
a
the
coffee
syrup
and then
in?
drizzle caramel on top.
Yeah, it's just on top, and then when I stick my straw in, I drink it all, and then I'm like, "Where's
Where's
the
the
rest of it?"
caramel?
And they're like, "You drank it."
Where did
I'm like, "No, I'm so bad now." Yeah.
Coffee.
coffee?
Coffee. Coffee.
Coffee.
Regular show.
There we go.
Coffee,
Yeah.
Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Did you watch regular show when it used to air?
I did watch regular show.
Remember that coffee bean dude?
The guy who squeezed coffee out of his nipples.
He was like,
Oh.
Coffee.
Wow, I do not remember that.
Well,
Yeah.
I watched it a
weren't
bit.
traumatized enough.
We'll have to
Yeah.
watch that again. Just
I do. I really do.
put that in the.
What did you think of regular show? Because it was a kids
I
show,
loved
but
it.
also
It was a kids show.
I thought it was
really
awesome.
shouldn't have
Explore.
been.
No.
It was probably meant to be on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
there's on YouTube. There's a like a storyboard animatic of the person who like created it,
Yeah.
and it's basically Mordecai and Benson go on an acid trip.
Yes.
That's like one of his original.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that just
Yes.
makes so much sense.
It does. They were certainly going with something interesting. So Brandon is currently showing Jaden the scene in question with a coffee.
Coffee bean man.
Coffee bean.
This is quite visceral. I'll be quite
Sorry,
honest,
audience,
none of
we're
them
not
are going to
talking-
actually hear or listen to this.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm just going to admit right now, I've never watched
Yeah,
regular
they
show.
had
That
to-
aim.
For the
Or
original
Adventure
airing on
Time.
TV, they had to cut that scene out.
And-
A little bit.
A little bit gross.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just went
And
with
they
it.
drank
At
it.
least I could have made him do like finger
It was
guns.
good at that.
Yeah.
Just-
But they were like, no.
No.
I think they eventually like to replace it. they
Yeah.
just
Well,
had
Brandon's
to shoot.
mic was
Yeah.
absolutely
okay, that
horrible.
makes
But, yeah,
sense.
which is a bit more.
That's the original cut.
Which is
Re-
hilarious.
Regular
Wow.
show was interesting.
The
Yeah.
That
earlier
was very
seasons,
interesting.
They used to have lots of swears in it as well.
Mm.
It was made for.
It was
adult
made for
Yeah.
Adult
Yeah.
Swim and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Yeah.
Still a
Cartoon
great show.
Network let
It is still a great
Still a great show.
Yeah. Teach kids swears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Australian culture, everybody.
Oh,
You go past a children's car park and you hear little voices. You fucking bitch! You fucking
This
stole
is
my
pretty
fucking
true.
toy, man!
Oh no.
I do that. That does happen a lot. I'm not even being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's hilarious. You see the parents.
Brandon wouldn't
standing
know
up
because he doesn't go
freaking-
outside.
He
but
doesn't go outside.
If he did, he would hear
His
it.
parents never took him to a playground as a kid, I don't think. Probably because the other kids were
We
swearing.
went to playgrounds. It's
Oh,
just-
only when no one else was there?
No, not true actually. I used to have a friend at a playground.
Brandon had a
my.
friend?
We
I
went for a
remember
day.
this
His
story.
name was like I forget his name. God.
Was he
You know,
an
I
imaginary
actually
friend?
met
No, this is
someone,
literal.
you know,
This is
like in a
literal.
very similar situation to
Alright.
this, whose
So it
name
might
was
have been
also
an imaginary.
He might
Callan.
have been an imaginary.
Oh no.
And what was
No, but
interesting
actually,
is that
no.
the
Okay,
spelling was
probably
almost
worth it.
identical, like,
It's just more of a personal.
you know,
choice.
because it's,
Yeah, that's fair.
instead of ending with an
To be
M,
fair, you get to
it
a
ends
point
with
in
an,
life where
it
you're
ends
trying
with
to,
an
like, cut down the
N,
amount of people that you really
which
know.
is very
You only need a
unusual.
small,
You're used to
solid,
Callums
contingent group.
and Callans,
Something you guys are.
not
Yes,
Callans.
sir.
It's a bit
It's
crazy.
You're living with your
myself and
parents.
I.
Exactly. Unbelievable.
Sometimes I get stressed because I'm like, I know too
Yeah.
many people.
And I hate all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because it's like sometimes having a lot of like friends is
Mm.
actually kind of detrimental because you're trying to balance everyone. You're
Yeah.
like, I haven't paid enough attention to you. Come here. But
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, but this connection isn't as deep as it should be. But then I've got these people over here. Obviously, it's.
What do you mean? You've
Genuinely
only had a
reflective
tight
to
group
like
of
the
friends.
structure of like
Yeah.
TV shows, like the Friends and The Big Bang Theory, like the amount of characters that they have on there. It's sort of the same It's like balancing the amount of people you know in your life and the amount of characters that you have in a show in that
I do
exact
genuinely
setting.
believe this.
You're meant
Like,
to cut down, like once you
you-
get into your later years. And
humans
so on, you do try to
in,
cut it down.
like,
to, like
when we're
that
talking like
amount of people
hunter-gatherer
becomes
society,
close
well, not
friends.
even, we weren't
You don't
hunter-gatherer
like
for
cut
very
them out,
long.
just make them
Like, we did
associates more
become
than-
agriculturally
just like,
inclined.
you find a certain group of people
But,
key with
yeah, we typically
like,
do
predominant-
cap out at about 100 people in a typical
Yeah.
village, if you will, quote unquote.
Exactly. Like the kind
And
of
that's
person,
like-
you tell
Yeah.
them that your door's a bit wonky.
You
and
wouldn't
they ask
know
if you can come over
everyone,
and take
but
a
like
look
you'd
at
work in a
it. That's like you're
community.
in a circle, and then there's
And
the
then
other
your
people
inner
you'll see
circle
at
would
the
be like
party.
a
It's like,
handful
oh, hey,
of
how's it
people.
going? Let's
You
catch
can have
up.
a
As
casual
mentioned
conversation.
here.
Yeah. Or you just get a lot of friends and categorize them by
Yeah.
utility.
Jaden goes around fixing everyone's doors.
So it's like Jaden here, he'd be my representative.
Representative in court.
Sure.
The lawyer?
My lawyer.
He's not
Okay.
even studying law. Here, Jaden, be my lawyer.
Calan
I do not
over
have the
here, he would
backbone
be
for
my
that.
informant.
Yeah, pretty much.
He'd be my guy on the inside. He'd
Yeah.
fill me in on everything that's happening. Jay here would he'd be the artist.
The artist.
I'm the PR person.
Yeah.
Creative outlet.
That's
I
more
make
Jay.
sure-
Jaden's
okay.
the PR, you're the artist.
The artist. What do I do? Do I
You're the
just go
branding.
around
The
the?
branding.
The creativity, the spice of
Oh,
life.
Start yelling.
I kind of just imagine myself like you'd be somewhere, and then I quickly like grab out an easel and start painting.
Yes.
Like a courtroom sketch artist, but
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
Yes.
I like that. That works.
I could be the,
Yeah.
when we're in court. I could be the sketch artist.
Yeah. It's like you're drawing out what's happening
Genius.
in
Yeah,
the
and you
courtroom.
can be
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I'll be the
Typey
yeah,
person.
the typey
Yeah.
person.
I don't know what I'm sorry people.
I've forgotten.
Scribe? Courtroom
Type-
scribe?
type-
Typographer.
I'm
I know that there's an
sorry.
actual position, and they do have
There
their
is.
own specialized keyboards.
Yeah, it's not even a normal.
Oh,
keyboard.
Yeah.
S. Starts with an S.
Yeah.
Stapler.
Stenographer.
Stapler.
Soundboard.
Is your stapling people?
It's called a stenograph.
Oh,
That's
stenographer.
stenographer.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
A court
Thank you,
reporter
Brandon.
does it,
Yeah.
and then they use
A
it.
stenographer.
Mm.
Anyways, how are we doing for time?
Tangent. Brandon, what size are you when it comes to shirts? Better
Oh
medium,
yes, this is interesting.
or large?
No, I'd only found this a couple of minutes before
Well,
we
we'll find
started.
out, because Christmas was about how many days ago was it? That was
But yes, this is
A solid
true.
amount of days.
17 days
Myself
ago.
and Jaden actually,
yeah,
we
I
arrived
did end up buying
on
you something, but I
time.
forgot to actually give it to
quote
you.
unquote on time.
Oh,
we were on
is this-
time at the
what's
location.
happening?
Pulling it out.
But
Yeah,
Jay
so I
hadn't
thought I
even
may as well
left,
give it
neither
to
had
you
Brandon.
on the show.
So we just started to go
And
clothes
I didn't-
shopping.
Yeah, how do you feel
And we
about
walked into a store, and I found
I
some.
would actually wear this.
This
I found quite a
is.
fair
That's
bit
your
actually. I
size.
found
I
a
hope
Bob
so,
Ross
too.
tie-dye
Because I don't know if they're
t-shirt.
still selling them. You can put it on
I've still
now.
got that.
For our
I wear
viewers
it
at home
parties
who
now.
can't see what's
But
going
everyone-
on,
yeah.
But I
It's-
also
Yeah, just put it
found
over the other shirt. Because it looks about
Brandon's
your size,
The
but if
Office
it's a bit smaller,
paraphernalia.
you
It's
can, like, put
alright. I
something
don't know
else
my
over
own
it.
size.
I only saw him wear it
yes.
once, but
Now,
to be
would you
fair, a
please
lot of
looks like
people
the
buying a
describe to the
t-shirt.
better than
audience
you
what
do.
this
Like
is.
Yeah.
a
Oh
lot.
my god, it's perfect.
Wow, that
I
is
must have gotten
incredible.
him
Say
like
the thing.
4 odd t-shirts in the past
No
year.
doubt, no doubt, no
No
doubt.
doubt.
This will make me so many friends at uni.
Oh no,
actually
this wasn't The
will.
You
Office.
have
This was
clothes
Brooklyn
for you.
Nine-Nine
Yeah, but
Stand
paraphernalia.
up so I can get like another.
Ironically,
So for
he'd
the
never actually
audience
watched Brooklyn
that can
Nine-Nine
only
up until
listen to
this
this,
point, but after this
Calan
t-shirt,
has
he'd
bought
started
Brandon
watching it.
a t-shirt
So
that
I
has
claim,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine on it.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
you know, I
Dan
claim all the
Sandberg,
dibs.
dude.
That was all
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Detective
yeah,
Jake
Jake
Paul.
I
Peralta
got him
with
into
a
Brooklyn
J, doesn't
Nine-Nine.
it?
Okay, try to like.
Same
flip the
thing.
shirts
I'm a
so
good
we can see
friend,
the
right?
caption a bit.
Excellent,
That'll do.
excellent.
Beautiful. We're you know.
It's a
taking
really good
photos of
fit too.
That's
I
a
think
very
that's
good
good.
Thank you, Calan.
He can
Yeah,
actually
I
wear more than
improv
one
that.
shirt.
I just
a
said
day.
medium because he's short, you know.
Wow, that
That's
was
That was a
so
high
loud.
five, everybody.
Wow.
Brandon's
I remember
hand
that hurt
is
his hand.
in pain,
I'll
but I'm
keep,
fine.
I'll keep this.
You don't have to keep it on, or you can change into it like
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, I'll keep it on for
Yeah.
the rest of the. It's getting hot. Quick.
Well, okay. Well, let's be honest. We're technically like 10 minutes over an hour, so we can wrap up whenever.
I think.
Wow.
Wait,
Do you want to go over like something briefly?
I talked about the dogs. That's
You
good
did talk
enough.
about dogs.
That's my
that'll do.
tangent.
Cool. Did
Well,
you?
everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that
You
was
had
my
yours at
thing.
the.
Oh yeah, that was your thing. Okay.
Suck
How
at
selfless, Calan.
Oh
outros.
my god, I'm so sorry. I was concerned more about the time.
It's okay.
We've been trying to like
Aw.
end this,
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wait, do I have crank?
Do it on screen.
and we just couldn't.
Uh,
I mean, we still sucked for a very long time.
Yeah.
It took
Very believable.
manager Reggie
okay.
actually to
something
keep
for
us on
next week.
time.
Oh, did you really just say that?
Christmas every
Fuck.
You
That's-
said my real
Wait,
name
say it
again.
again, and then we'll just reenact that.
I'll get something for Jay next week. You know.
Oh,
Christmas
excellent.
every
Yeah,
I'll
week.
get
I
something
was
for Jaden
This
brilliant
next
might be a
this.
recurring. I already got Jaden something. Actually, the
He
Pokemon
did,
cards, which we'll
yes.
talk about
That
in
was
future
incredible.
Oh,
episodes.
yeah.
Yes, we will.
Alright,
Yes, we will.
anyways, thank you all for listening to the second episode of the Any Last Words podcast.
Thank
Last
you for
words,
sticking
any
around.
podcast.
Yes.
The Last Words Any podcast.
Does that
if you
brilliant.
guys are interested, we already have the pilot episode and the first episode up
We do.
already. If you
Our
haven't
first
checked them out,
episode,
go check it out. You don't have to listen to all of it because honestly, we have improved a little bit more in quality, but we still have some good points in there.
We
and
do.
if you want to catch us on any social media, we have Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr.
Tumblr.
Yes,
and
Tumblr
SoundCloud.
now.
We don't have Spotify
We're
right
not
now.
going to use the
but-
SoundCloud as much because they do have like a limit as to how
Yeah.
much you can upload.
But
onto
you
the
will be
website
able
at
to
any time.
hear all the recent episodes on there. We'll have 3 of them up at a time, I think.
2, I think.
Two up at a time if you want to listen to it there. But you have to be quick. You have to be very quick because they will be gone.
Yes, they will.
We catch us on social media at ALW Podcast.
Jay was really running
And-
through
Like
these.
5 stars
Very
on the
nice.
interwebs.
Exactly.
Yes.
And Calan, would you like to outro us, please?
Thank you for listening to the Any Last Words podcast, Last Words Any podcast. That was a bit
Rated
excessive,
5
young
stars
man.
on the internet. Catch you next week.
Ciao.
Does that
Music.
lead us to our concluding question?
It does.
Oh yeah.
We nearly forgot the
Wow, this was,
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
done
Am I
horribly.
gonna ask it again?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Guys, so this year's been great so far, right?
It has been,
Alright,
yeah.
Uh,
let me just get comfortable.
Oh my gosh, attention seeking again.
We're only
Now-
13 minutes.
Any
in
last
now.
words?
Yeah, we'll go with
Come
that.
on, we all know what the last
Alright.
words are.
Cool, 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 cool.
Cool, 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 cool,
Cool.
cool.
Thank
Cool,
you.
cool.
Cool.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Any last words?
Cool.
No?
Cool.
Cool. Oh,
Nah, unbelievable.
Get
Okay.
settled.
Okay, we're gonna have
Well-
to cut all of that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's try again.
This is true.
I
Okay.
won't cut it
So
out.
after, you will cut it out. You will cut it out. You
I
will.
cut none
This-
of
I
that
haven't
out.
cut anything else.
This
out.
is
Which
staying.
you cut
This
out.
is staying.
Oh no.
It all stayed.
Anyways,
It's more funny this way.
our last words are
Go on, Brandon.
just
Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah, we did not have outro music at this point.
thank you.
Thank you.
And to everyone else, remember to ask yourself.
What?
You can do it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we're gonna keep that.
Oh, no, mate.
Any last words?
That was
Guys, I
unnecessary.
think
you know
Batman's
the
here.
And that's
Where
a
is
wrap.
she?
Quick,
Where's
before he,
Rachel?
like stabs us or something.
Alright.
Excellent.
Well, thanks guys for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks
Very
for listening.
nice.
Toodaloo,
See you next
everybody.
week.
Woo!
Comment down, Cookie, if you're still here.
People did indeed put down Cookie. But yeah, that was a bit of a nostalgia trip for myself. If you're still here, which you really shouldn't be, let's be honest, none of you have got the attention span to listen through all 1 hour, 16 minutes so far, 17 minutes. But yeah, evidently we've come a long way as individuals, all of us, to all that we've lost along the way. They've also grown and developed, but to them the best. We're coming up to that 1 year anniversary, you know. And, I mean, quite frankly, looking back, you know, it's a rare opportunity to be able to look back and find a collage of, you know, your past self. Photos don't really, like, capture that, or video, you know, like, I don't, you know, it's kind of interesting, like, photos almost are a tethering point for you to warp something. And videos, I mean, who the fuck is going to stand around for an hour and 16 minutes, you know, video recording something? Weirdo. I think this is pretty genuine. But yeah, that's enough about that. Almost a year. We're in the end of October, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the director's cut of episode 0/2 of the Any Last Words podcast, episode of the Any Last Words podcast. Check out socials in the description, as they usually are, and check out Jay on Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter at ghosting_Jarlee, spelt exactly how it sounds. We've got a Tumblr, we've got a Twitter, I never use a Twitter, and that's a bit, we've got an Instagram, follow that. Oh, very important, we're now on Apple Podcasts. It took me a very long time to get that done. Let's be honest, I should have done that months ago. But we're there now. So all you Apple users, you can just use that instead of paying for YouTube Premium. Either way, fuck off now.